Okay, so let's talk about creating a baseline for your athletes. So a lot of times your programs are or should be based upon periodization, progressing either some type of linear fashion or undulating fashion, which is what I prefer to use. Regardless, you gotta have a baseline, meaning we have to start somewhere. So for a good example today would be working with one of the athletes, and her first movement for today is trap bar deadlift, okay? So this is what we call our baseline week, all right? This is the first time she's using the movement in the progression for the month, and we're gonna start with a baseline. So how do we determine that? So what we did the week before is we did a testing. I just realized my camera's crooked, sorry. So we tested her out at 150 pounds for 10 reps, all right? So that is her 10 rep max. And we're going to now start with week 1 in our baseline with 90% of that 10 rep max, okay? So her 10 rep max on trap bar deadlift was 150 pounds. And we're gonna take 90% of that and subtract that, and then we get 135 pounds. So today, what she's gonna do is 3 sets of 10 at 135 pounds, which is going to be her baseline. Now, there's 2 ways to advance from this. Next week, you could perform an undulating situation to where we could use basically 6 reps, all right? Going a lot up into weight. Or you could do a linear fashion of going 8 reps, then 6 reps, then 4 reps, and then another baseline, okay? And so the first week of every month would be the baseline, and that baseline will have to adapt because the progression is being made, okay? What I mean by that is, since her max, 10 rep max is 150 pounds, okay? We could safely say that that's going to increase if we're doing proper periodization, okay? Now, we're not talking about elite athletes that take a long time to make those progressions. But if her baseline was 135 pounds this week, next month in phase 2, if sticking with the same movement, her baseline would now be 140 pounds for 10 reps for 3 sets of 10. And that would be her baseline there. And then the third month of the final phase of the 3-month block would be 145 pounds. So we're making very small jumps, okay? And then like I said, you could use a linear periodization throughout the month and then deload out on the beginning of each month, or you could do an undulating, which is what I prefer to do with athletes. I find it to be more beneficial, and it's not such a mental, I guess you'd say, block of like doing the same thing heavier, heavier, heavier. It kind of gives the body a break neurologically to kind of bounce back and forth between each other, okay? So that's how you create a baseline for your athletes. Put this into practice, utilize it, and watch your athletes excel at a faster rate without hitting any walls.